In the prelude to this adventure, you and your companions successfully explored a dungeon east of Fandor and returned to civilization. You went to a local tavern called the Honeybee Hangout to gather rumors on the location of a group of bandits. These bandits appear to be led by a corrupt military corporal named Ethan and a caravan raider named Chad. At the Honeybee Hangout, you found a mercenary company named the Band of the Falcon already preparing to hunt down the bandits. One of your companions, Lucian, challenged their leader, Griffith, to a duel and ultimately lost after a close fight. All the party members decided to become members of the Band of the Falcon and participate in the assault on the bandits. Both sides fought valiantly, and our heroes have reached a climactic moment. What do you do now?
Cirque, you're nearly dead. Come on, let's go. I look at the chest mournfully that's to my right, thinking internally that I wish I could loot it, but the lives of my companions are more important. Retreat!
Okay. And if no one objects, everyone is able to successfully retreat from the bandit camp. The sound of
I
arrows
plod down the
whizzing.
road.
What was
Go
that?
ahead. Nothing. I was going to describe my character sadly plodding down the road, but carry on.
Yes. And Guts is also quite sad. One tear dropping from his eye. The sounds of arrows whizzing through the air and shouts from injured men are behind you. The bloody smell in the air is replaced with the smell of fresh pine trees. You feel many watchful eyes looking at you as you retreat. After a few minutes, you find a medical tent filled with wounded mercenaries with the Band of the Falcon, a banner of the Band of the Falcon above the tent. Guts speaks up and turns around. You can rest and recover in the medical tent. I need to make sure the retreating red dragonborn veterans that attacked the other side of the bandit campsite are alive. When you have recovered, patrol the perimeter and prevent anyone from escaping. Do you have any questions? Gut says.
Godspeed, man.
Okay.
Oh, go do your job.
Okay. With that, Guts rushes away, back to the fight.
I would like to take a rest. I'm tired.
Okay. Everyone can short rest if you want.
Oh, that's good.
Cypher, are you thinking about returning there after we've recovered, or shall we head north, as we discussed? By the way, you're muted.
He's muted.
Some of the
Well,
guards see you as you come in, but you have the Band of the Falcon heraldry, that little coat of arm, or like the uniform on, so he lets you through. He says, "Welcome back. Um, the Band of the Falcon will pay you after all the bounties are collected on the bandits. This will take place in 10 days in the Sword Coast Traders Bank within Daggerford. You can choose to withdraw your pay at a later time for no penalty." Um,
are
I'd
you
rather
planning
get
on
my pay.
returning to that camp with a new host on the morrow? Or what exactly will happen now that we've retreated?
well, it depends on what happens with the bandits. But after we eliminate the bandits, we take those that are captured or killed, we turn them in to our patrons at Daggerford, and then we get paid. And that's when we'll pay you, says the guards.
That's very generous of you. I appreciate your forwardness.
That's no generous, no thanks needed. It's my job. Just But you can tell your compliment to that, that obviously that rookie here that was assigned on guard duty. Yeah, it really got to him. He's like, he's standing a bit straighter. You can a little gleam coming off of his spear.
Hmm. So I'm gonna look around the camp. Do I see anyone who seems to be like higher ranking or anyone I recognize?
Uh, Looking around, you see a few guards, few, people that are trading. You see some people that, for example, this veteran that seems a bit wounded at the moment. He's kind of resting in the campsite. But he doesn't have a higher rank. He's just more experienced.
Mhm. You there. You look wounded. Were you a part of the recent battle as well? Did you attack from the south?
No. I was on patrol duty. A few bandits tried to escape, and other bandits tried to get back into camp from the outside. So me and my companions captured or killed them. And now I'm recovering. He says, my name's Darren.
Well met, Darren. I'm afraid that the attack did not go as well as we'd expected. We met with great resistance, and the enemy was quite coordinated. We've sown chaos amidst the ranks and slain many men, but I'm afraid the majority still remain. Is there someone I might speak to inform of this result?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can talk to Griff. You can tell Griffith, but he probably already knows. He has lookouts on all sides of the camp. If you feel the need, you can go and enter the cave on your right, and you can talk to Griffith. He's in the room planning out the battle. And
That
you
is
see
well.
Darren point to the cave over here. Just go in there.
Hmm. Cypher, are you in a talking mood yet? By the way, game night, you're muted.
So you
I didn't realize that. I've been talking this whole time. Anyway,
Ah, perhaps it was the mask. I think it muffles your voice, companion.
perhaps if he'll shift uh, uh well, he'll remove the peregrine helmet so he can speak better. And he'll say, um, I believe it wouldn't be wise. Our best path lies in seeking some kind of resolution to this conflict with Griffith rather than just fleeing. The bandits need to go, and better it's us that that's deal with them because we are aware of the full threat that they represent, especially since we now know that they're receiving support from outside the nation. Apparently,
Yes. And as
the
context, last session you guys started to uncover that there's a drug epidemic exploding in your nation where people are getting addicted to drugs. And one of the drugs is called rentanol. Uh,
indeed
this is an
the
opioid painkiller, and the bandits are distributing this among the people. And it's supposedly another group of unidentified people that maybe you guys will identify has been providing this drug to the bandits. Go ahead.
indeed
Indeed, Cypher,
so
and if you recall, furthermore, I remember seeing some familiar faces in that camp. What did you make of that?
honestly, they didn't surprise me much, given the fact that Chad was actually I was a bit surprised by the when we prison broke. I didn't expect to see him ever again, honestly. After we got off of that boat, I figured his metaphorical goose was cooked. But hey, you can't predict everything. Now, as for Chad and Erebus, less of a surprise. Given what we know of them, they likely have their fingers in many pies, as one says, across the board, both legal and the less so. I don't feel we need to kill Erebus. Oh, and even though I dislike Chad, I don't think we necessarily need to kill him either. They'll see Erebus can be reasoned with, and Chad will submit to strength if nothing else. Um, we we underestimated uh the strength of the individuals and their cohesion. I feel with a bit of a tweaking to any plans, we should be able to handle the situation, at least with help from and I'll motion to the cave, Griffith. Uh,
Can
if we're
one of you
since
guys give us a summary of what you remember about Erebus and Chad? Like, who are they for the audience?
the Erebus was a contact we made back in what was the name of that city? The one that we've ceded to the Drow now.
The city of Twyrif has been
That's
conquered
it.
by the xenomorphs and then reconquered by the Drow.
That's it. Lost to those abominations, and then the Drow moved in. Honestly, I don't feel like the place is much nicer now than before. Uh, if at all. We met Erebus there. We were looking for information on, I believe, a certain was it? I can't recall what it was that we were looking for, but we were looking for information. We paid her in order to receive it, and later on, we escorted her and a group of citizens from Twyrif uh, down to Red Larch, and we stopped for a while in one of her criminal safe houses. We then, I believe, that both Erebus and Chad were infected by the xenomorph parasites while we fought and held them off. But due to the combined efforts of several of our former companions, we managed to save their lives. Saving Chad's life might have been a mistake, but you know, past is the past. Can't take anything back. I believe Ramishton, you know more about Chad than I do. You met him first.
Indeed, I've met both of them, and I'm not sure I ever told you this story, Lucian, so I should tell it. But way back when I first entered my new life as a man-at-arms who serves the law, I was escorting a caravan for a friend of ours, Samwise. Have you met him? I think you have. But we were attacked by a group of bandits on the road. Chad was at their head, and they swept into the camp with many men. I told the other merchants and traders there to all lay down their arms and just surrender, because, you see, I've been in that kind of line of work before, and typically, you're just in it for the money of the people you're robbing. You're not trying to kill them unless they make you. But I was sorely mistaken, for Chad immediately began slicing down the prone traders and merchants, and his men did the same. Realizing it was folly, I quickly changed my strategy, and we managed to get the better of them. I stole one of his horses, which is the horse you've seen me riding. It was originally Chad's, now it's mine. And I was riding him down into the woods when his friend Erebus began firing arrows at me. She was invisible. I know from that experience that she is somewhat of a capable spellcaster as well as a warrior. I always thought that the next time I'd meet Chad it would be at the end of swords, but as it happened, We were quite diplomatic the next time we met. It turned out he'd been pardoned by the law. He and Erebus had done some great task for the powers that be, and in return, they'd been pardoned for all crimes. The rest is history, as you said. You and I believe it was perhaps that cleric, the one from the sea, the handsome one. The two of you, perhaps with Gilmac's help, managed to save their lives when they were infected with parasites. And now it seems that they've taken up residence with our new enemies. I'm hardly surprised. But Nicholas, you had no great grudge against them. I'm surprised you didn't take up their offer when they offered us to join their cause.
You see, I am in every sense of the word a practical man. Not to say that I don't have my own ambitions, which is actually precisely why I had to reject that offer. You see, given what we know of who who was it, the liaison of the vampires that was there at the camp? Given what I know of vampires, they don't tend to delegate much power to anyone outside of themselves, and it's one thing. See, I have ambitions. Serving a ruler who does not die would be antithetical to them, if you catch my drift.
Indeed. I'm on the same page.
Also, while I am amoral, it strikes me as, what's the word? Wasteful to the methods that they're using currently. It's wasteful. It causes unnecessary suffering. As you're well aware, my modus operandi, the way I like to work things out is, I'd prefer that the people who are working for me want to do my bidding, rather than not knowing that they're doing it. Overall, it's a much more stable way to operate. A man that realizes he's being tricked into doing something very often ruins even the best laid plans. Somebody who knows that they're working towards your ends and wants to help you is a much better long-term investment. I think you understand what I'm saying.
I raise an eyebrow, smiling. You called yourself amoral, Nicholas. I'm not sure I'd agree with that assessment. I recall the righteous fury in your voice when we've dealt with that necromancer before.
Righteous fury, yes. Righteous, not so much. I simply, it's like the person on as you're well aware, I was getting set to build a business in Spyrif. Due to her inability to compromise and work together, I was forced to abandon everything and flee. A great number of people who I could have used, or at the very least, could have been used as an opportunity, are now dead, and worse than that, she insulted my intelligence to my face. She might not see it as such, but attempting at the time, her attempt to take the country by herself with a group of less than coordinated monsters was harebrained. So, and then, she then had the gall to demand that we submit to her, while insinuating that if we did not submit, that we would be slain along with everyone else. No, thank you. I am logical, but I have my pride. I will do as that, and I will carry myself as that pride dictates.
Darren approaches from the
Interesting.
north and he whispers to Lucian, "You guys are lounging around. Do you have like something to do? I remember you from fighting Griffith, Lucian."
That's so. Well, I'm just waiting for these two. They seem to have quite a heated discussion over here. I'm just waiting for them to finish.
All right, gotcha. Okay. All right. Darren walks back.
It seems
to
we're
the
going to
medical
have
tent.
to hurry this up. That's what's it? Nicholas will take out a note. He'll write down the information he learned about the supporters of the people who seem to be funding this operation, and he'll hand it to where's that veteran guard, or maybe he'll walk over to the cave and see if he can hand it to Griffith before he goes out on
Sure.
patrol.
Go ahead and write something down on an actual go ahead and send it into chat what you write down, and
Alrighty.
that
Let me
message will
just-
be given to Griffith. This guard will carry. He's like, okay, yeah, you want to get a message for Griffith? Sure, I'll put it in the pile.
Nicholas, I think I should speak to him directly. It seems from our discussion that you have no qualms about me volunteering our services to continue aiding him in taking the bandits.
Not at all. Frankly, given the fact that they are being supported so heavily supported by outside influences, I'd like to see. What's the word? It always escapes me in times like these. I'd like to see what they have in their stores.
Okay.
well.
You walk. Entrance to the cave is brightly lit. There's a lot of crates, a lot of barrels out, a lot of weapons. This is clearly a storage area for the mercenary band's stuff that they've moved. As you come in, you look around. One of the veterans points over here. Griffith's over there if you need him. If you need to rent a sword or you need to rent some supplies, come back here. Make sure you have coin. We don't do IOUs.
I've got far too many swords. By the way, I think Sleepy's in already, so.
Okay, welcome, Sleepy. Welcome. And another companion emerges. You can short rest if you want.
Short rest.
Sir, you son of a horse.
I missed
You're alive.
What happened?
Nothing much, honestly. Oh, there he is.
Let's try to
Or
make
when
this talk
Griffith
quick.
turns around. He hears the footsteps of you guys approaching. He's like, and he's poring over some plans that he has on the map. He turns over. He looks at you guys. What do you want?
We have some information that has come to light during the attack that we feel would be best to share with you, in
Okay.
our relationship as allies.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay then. See, during the attack on the camp, somebody that we had encountered in our previous travels made overtures to us. He named I believe it was a group. Let's see here, that was supporting the vampires.
Vampires.
Overtures.
Overtures.
That was supporting the bandits, I believe. Sorry.
Speak
there's
clearly. I
a
don't
cult?
understand. Overtures? What kind of overture? Vampires?
Oh.
I mean, what are you talking? I haven't seen a vampire in the bandit camps. So, what's going on?
Apologies. I believe I was a bit unclear. I meant to say they invited us to lay down our arms and join them in what I believe they plan to be a conquest of this nation. The drug distribution was a ploy to destabilize the working class. In but it was more complex than that, but I don't believe we have time to jump around with words.
Okay, so
There's one
some
more
of the
thing.
bandits are giving out drugs and they're targeting working people. Is that it?
I think the juice of this news is that they're working for a vampire. You see, a green-skinned
what?
elf in their company is familiar to us. He's a servant of a vampire on a distant shore, and he told us that these vampires far away intend to infiltrate our country. Their intent is to use this drug to weaken the country, that they might conquest it later. So, the big news is that there's vampires interested in taking control of the country we currently are standing in.
That is terrible news. What's the name of the vampire?
Do any of you
Unfortunately,
know it?
nope. His name was never mentioned. I believe the elf in question was cursed. That's or rather heavily rather his instructions meant he couldn't tell us the vampire's name because the nation that the vampires apparently rules or is part of the rulership of is supposed to be a secret.
Okay,
Of
so
course, it's
bandits
all
are.
just hearsay. We have no direct evidence that it's a vampire. We've
Oh.
never seen it, we've only heard it spoken of.
All right. So so hearsay that a vampire is working with the bandits, or the bandits are working for a vampire.
Something like that. I'm not sure if they're all aware, but he did shout it through the entire camp, so I'd assume that they are.
Something like that. Uh, okay, a vampire is involved. How did you learn this hearsay?
Why,
Oh,
the sea elf that we recognized came out and shouted it to all who would listen.
Who's the
He was
sea
trying to
elf?
convince us that fighting them was futile and that we should join them.
Who's the sea elf?
Not one I know well.
believe
A friend
let's
from
see.
past travels. Somebody I had a brush with. We believe he works for vampires. After having
I
spent
have his name in my
the
notes.
better part of a voyage with him and heard his talk,
Apparently, I don't. Nero,
I
that's his name.
personally
Nero.
think that
Nero.
even if it's not true, he at least believes wholeheartedly that he works for vampires.
Okay.
And he seems quite good at moving in and out of various social circles as well.
Okay. Now, out of character, right? This is a narrator talking. Nero is I think it's a merfolk, and he was the
Not
person that you
familiar with
sprung
the
from
race.
jail. He's supposedly a spy working for the vampire lords. Zara introduced you guys to him. Griffith is like, his eye is twitching a bit, and he's looking at you like you just laid down a really tall tale, a really
Okay.
unbelievable
My friend,
tale. Like I
don't believe
don't know
me.
what you're talking about here, but it sounds like this friend of a friend's story that you heard. You know, maybe you shouldn't get too scared about children's stories. It's this is not that big of a deal. I mean, was this like,
I'll
did a
put a
bandit
hand
tell
on
you
him.
this when he was about to die? Like this sounds crazy.
Now, he told us this as we'd been rescued. We were traveling with him, and he was going to his supposed masters and inviting us to come with him. He went into some detail about how after we'd arrived, we'd be in their power completely. And we'd, you see, we'd already rescued him. He had nothing more to gain from us. He was simply offering it by way of offering something in return. Sure, it is quite possible. It's possible that it was something other than vampires at the shore, and he wanted us to come with him for some other reason, but
Okay.
he seemed rather indifferent to us coming or not coming.
Okay.
It seemed
Okay.
that just something he was offering. Again, I'm not telling you this because I expect you to believe it. I'm just telling you, just in case it's something of interest or use to you? If not, discount it, please.
Okay. So just to understand what you guys are saying, Griffith says, kind of rubbing his head, trying to put all the pieces together. You had an associate that
Correct.
was friends with the vampires, and you were offered to join them, but you turned them down. Is that it?
Essentially, yes. And now we've seen
Yeah.
the same man here, and he claimed the same story.
Okay. Okay. You had an associate that was friends with the vampires. They offered you a job. You refused. Now, same people here have offered you a job of what? Just surrendering to them? Is that it?
I think he
I
wanted us to
believe.
work with. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. I believe those were his immediate goals. To for us to break off our assault on his camp. His long term though, it's highly unlikely what it was that he would have wanted.
Uh,
Let me. I believe it might be best to summarize this without the more fantastical elements, so that we can get our so that we can be in full understanding of the situation. Forgetting our previous association with Nero and who his supposed masters are, let's take only information that is more than likely. The bandits in question are being supported by an outside influence. This much is clear given their level of competency. They've only been around for what, a month or two, and they were
Soldiers,
able
Cipher.
to.
They have experience in war.
Soldiers, yes. Well, soldiers, yes, but soldiers are usually used to fighting. Depending on what type of unit they were. I don't believe the soldiers turn to drug. What's it called? Addicted to drug, and then turn to bandits. Should have been able to respond as as organized as they were, especially
Well,
without
I do.
any commander.
I think a good company has what's called decentralized command. The more veteran soldiers are quite capable of leading small units and fighting cohesively. I think we merely underestimated how experienced these soldiers are. However, I do believe that you're correct to say they're supported by outside influence because if you look at how well stocked their camp was, all the equipment they had, the fortifications, that's a lot of the things in there are not dirt cheap. And as I understand it, they've fallen upon hard times, and that's why they're doing what they're doing.
Indeed.
So all their equipment would suggest some level of support.
So we arrive at the same conclusion, albeit for different reasons. No need to argue that point. But so it is our belief that they are being supported by an outside influence. The nature of that influence is up to speculation. We believe, due to our experiences, that they are being supported by either a vampire or a nation of vampires or a nation ruled by vampires who intend to use them to sow discord and weaken the country enough for them to take it. This, at this point, can't be proven. So, basically, what all you need to know for the current scenario, in order to amend your plans, is these bandits are terrifyingly competent, whether because they were high level soldiers or because they've received support from outside influence. Irrelevant. These bandits are very competent, frighteningly so.
okay.
I would not be, even without your help. I wouldn't trust our ability to take them on ourselves.
Okay, I see. All right. Okay, I see what you're saying. You think that the bandits are being supported by someone because the bandits are really strong, and you believe that a vampire is doing the supporting to destroy the nation, but that's just your belief. It's an opinion. It's just your opinion. And
Correct.
you
No hard
think
evidence as of yet.
and you also said there are vampire friends at the bandit camp that offered you a job if you broke off your assault on the camp.
That is true. One singular. He's a Merfolk CF. I believe his name is Nero. He's blue. He's pretty recognizable even from a distance.
Okay.
He he's the associate that we spoke of that we jailbroke, if you would.
And now you've come back to our campsite after breaking off your attack. I hope you're rested.
Yep, indeed. We were gonna see a healer before we went back out on patrol as Guts requested. We just had to inform you of this beforehand.
So did you say we have taken a short rest, by the way, or that we haven't had time yet?
You've taken a short rest. Everyone can do your short rest stuff.
Everyone, take some temporary hit points from this really cool. Where did I put it? This one.
Okay. Well,
Leadership.
since Guts should have told you to go onto patrol duty. What we're gonna do is you had a chance to take down the bandits. You missed your opportunity. Now another mercenary team is gonna get that chance. You're gonna play a supporting role and go on to patrolling duty. That means you're gonna go around the bandit camp, make sure no one can escape. I have some rookies that I'm managing along the perimeter as well, but you'll need to make sure that you handle yourself well. This
Understood.
is good speculation that you've given me, something to chew on. But returning to more practical stuff, I'm gonna focus on overcoming the bandits, and I'll think about putting this in my report.
Oh yeah, Cirque did spend the required amount of time near that one loot drop.
I have one poll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we will. So go ahead and roll a 1d100, and that'll tell me how good of a pull of a good loot that you get. Okay.
Oh wow.
82, that's pretty good.
80.
So above average. I want you to think of something that you would be able to get from a bandit camp that's above average. If you can't come up with anything, I'll tell you something.
I have no
100
idea.
gold pieces.
1,000 gold pieces.
You decide. You decide.
uh,
I'm gonna
I
give
have
you.
no idea. I'm gonna leave it up to you.
Okay. So, in a bandit camp, you have a lot of things that have been taken from some of the villagers. The villagers might have given something to the bandits in exchange for the drugs. So that's reasonable. Bandits could have stolen stuff from merchants. That's also reasonable. So there's a high possibility of some valuables. Bandits also have, they're going to need weapons. They're going to need armor because they're fighting a lot. Or at least they're intimidating people a lot. So that's possible as well. And of course, there is this vampire connection, supposedly. Connection to Nero, Chad, Erebus. So, and then there are, of course, the magicians in there, the mental attacks. I wonder what that's about. So I'm going to say, with an 82, that you get a ruby shard. A ruby shard of Storm King's Landing. And Storm King's Landing is a location south of Phandalin on the world map, and that's where you can enchant your mithril, sorry, not enchant, but you can attune to your mithril and adamantium weapons, and those weapons will be much more powerful. They give you attack hit bonuses, they give you damage bonuses, and the ruby shard is, well, you don't know what the ruby shard is, but it's you do know that it's from a Storm King's Landing because there's an emblem on it that kind of gives you the emblem of Storm King's Landing. We're gonna say it is 100 gold pieces. That's if you just want to sell it, but you'll need to research that ruby shard if you want to learn more about it.
All right.
I want to go back. I kind of want to go back and get some more loot.
I do too, but we have orders.
True orders. Let's
Let's
just go back.
My Lord Griffith, you are a strong commander of mercenaries, and we appreciate you including us in your service. We'll do our best to make sure no one escapes the camp.
Yep. Carry
I
on.
need to
Thank
kiss
you.
his ass, old man.
All right. Do you guys go out to patrol duty?
Yep.
Yes.
I believe me and Cirque would stop by the healer's tent first, but yeah, just
Okay.
about.
In the healer's tent, they just give you some bandages, but it doesn't really heal you anything. You're just you have to short rest. You know, do spend more hit dice if you want to do that.
I've already spent enough. Yeah, I've comfortable with. I'll hit
Want me to
Cirque
heal
with-
you guys? I could spare some spell slots.
How many spell slots you got?
First level, I've got 3. And I still have 3 more second level spell slots too. So, like
Save
5.
your magic, my
yes.
friend. A few bandages will suffice. You'll need that on patrol.
Likely.
You know what? Perhaps you're right. Maybe I'll use it to help kill some enemies later.
Is anyone else hearing that random laugh track?
Yeah, it's
I
playing
am.
in the Foundry.
Nice.
I don't.
So did you say that Lucian gives everyone some temporary hit points?
Yeah, that's from the
Yep, 11.
11 temporary hit points.
Does it affect Charger?
Yeah, sure. I can do it with all allies, so yeah, it counts.
Do they have to be able to understand? Well, I guess Charger can
He
understand,
doesn't.
maybe.
Sorry, Charger does not get the
Okay.
bonuses from being a person. He,
Oh, that's right.
For sure.
yes. So you guys go on to control duty around a bandit camp. And here's what happens. A strange fog is magically spreading from the bandit campsite. The sudden fog
Oh no.
is spreading in all directions. You cannot see more than 10 feet in front of you. It is obvious to you that this fog will make it almost impossible to see anyone escaping from the bandit camp. The rookies on the perimeter do not know what to do. Are you able to solve this problem and distinguish yourself from the useless rookies? What do you do?
I light a torch. Does that help at all with the fog?
Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Okay.
It does not.
Let's see. I assume that we have a set area that we're going to be patrolling, and we're not just circling around the camp.
Well, what are you doing? You tell me.
What have we been told to do by Griffith? Like,
Yeah.
watch a specific section or patrol the entire perimeter periodically?
Well, I mean, you didn't talk to Brithip about that, so you don't know.
Oh, I assume that our orders included what we were supposed to do. I guess not. I guess I'm gonna turn around and head back towards the camp to ask Griffith if he wants us to patrol a specific section or the entire place.
All right. So with the mist, it's gonna be really hard for you to find where that camp is. You don't know any landmarks. You can only see 10 feet in front of you. So I anticipate it'll take you more than 10 minutes to get back to the camp.
Save,
Alright,
save
9
the
minutes
top.
left.
Save the top. Let's just keep going.
So,
Hold
I'm
on.
going to
Iris
well, can we
could
see the
actually-
light of the bandit camp at least in the
No,
middle?
no, the
of
fog
where
is
we're at?
impenetrable. It's like a wall. a magical.
So we don't even
Magical
know if
fog.
we're near the bandit camp. We're just randomly in the woods in the middle of nowhere, for all we know.
Well, for all you
Is that
know,
right?
the last known location is you're near the bandit camp. You can head in that general direction if you want. You can also head in the general direction of the campsite for the band of the Falcon. But I'm just telling you that, it's a very heavy fog. You can't see more than 10 feet in front of you.
With Iris, can I tell her to start using her wings to try and blow away a little bit of the fog, giving us a bit more sight?
Yeah, give me athletics on Iris.
Right. Alright.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
so you
6
see Iris, Cirque, you command Iris to start flapping and flapping and flapping her wings, and she dispels some of the fog so you can see 15 feet, and then all of a sudden the fog comes back as if by magic, and now you're back to 10 feet.
Well,
All right. Hold on a sec. I have an idea. We don't necessarily need to break the fog. I imagine this is a concentrated effort by several spellcasters. But I do have an idea. First and foremost, I will activate what's it called? Mage sites. Let's say that I spent the first couple of minutes doing that since I wasn't talking, because I need a minute to do that. Let me just post mage site in the chat right there. So yeah, so mage site, so I'd be able to see whether or not there's whether or not this fog was in fact magical, and
Yeah, it is
I think the
magical.
range on the technology is 30.
It is
So
magical.
that might help me if any of the more powerful people try to escape. I'd be able to see the magic items they have on them. For my
yeah.
well, if they were within range.
I'm going to ride towards the direction I think the camp is in, and I'm just gonna ride fast and hard for like a solid minute, trying to get to where the camp is. Don't worry, companions. I think I'll be quite alright on my own. Good luck. I'm going to find the bandits. I ride towards the camp, or where I think the camp is.
All right, back toward the bandit camp.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, but while he's doing that, I'm going to the rookies are with me, correct? They're with the group.
They're
as we're
also
patrolling?
patrolling. They're in small groups patrolling around the bandit camp. Some of them are hidden.
Understandable. I'm gonna start spreading ball bearings and caltrops every maybe in like a half-foot line just around the area that we're patrolling through the trees. I have, of course, the standard 1,000 ball bearings and
So that's
20
enough for a
caltrops.
5 feet by 5 feet area.
Oh, I'm not attempting. Well, damn, the 1,000 not enough for. Okay, so I
Want
might
me
be
to
able
play
to
some
jury
music?
rig something.
All right.
I can play some music to gather everyone's attention.
That would just let them know where to avoid.
All right. So Rabishton, you're riding fast and hard, and because of the lack of visibility, you're gonna hit a branch, and that's gonna deal 25 damage to you because of the number of
Oh,
branches you hit.
jeez.
After that, you're gonna arrive and you're gonna see the palisade walls of the bandit camp. There's still some fighting going on the inside.
I'm gonna turn around and yell at the top of my lungs, "This way, Cypher! Lucian! Cirque, come this way!"
Can we even hear him?
Yeah, you hear him. It's kind of a faded voice somewhere in that direction. At the
Gonna
bandit camp.
follow.
You know
Then-
what? Intelligent. Yeah, I'll move. I'll follow.
Are you guys sprinting, or are you guys kind of taking it careful, like walking?
I'll just fly above the trees.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
a
the
mix-
fog is
a
still up
mix-
there too. You can't see anything. It's pretty high.
I'm aware. I just don't want to hit anything while I'm moving at high speed.
Okay. So
I'm
now,
going to
I'll
gonna
carry
move over
whoever. What's it? Which of you is
I
lightest?
don't think you can carry anyone.
While
I'm
I'm
moving my
traveling,
horse
can I
down
just search
after
for
I
any
shouted.
signs of other people?
Yeah.
I'll just ride it.
What is it?
After shouting, I'm going to move my horse down into the little like moat they dug out around their palisade so that way there aren't any branches near me. I'm going to start just riding in a circle around. That way, if anyone climbs down from the wall, I will see them, hopefully.
All right, sounds
If
good.
they happen to be climbing down when I'm passing. So that's my plan.
All right. And with that, remission. Everybody in the party gets 1,100 EXP for solving the riddle, problem solving this. You do catch someone. Erebus and Chad, as they attempt to escape, and with your quick thinking going around the ditch, doesn't matter if you can't see because it takes a while. It takes too long for them to climb down. So, what happens is each of you gets 1,100 EXP. Great job for problem solving this. Remission, you get a bonus 300. And
Chase him down and kill him.
you guys. So you see Erebus and Chad climbing down from the palisade walls, and when they see you riding around, they run, but you catch him. And they try to fight you, but you're just too good. We're not going to role play that. We're not going to do the battle because it's obvious you're going to beat them. And Chad and Erebus are subdued. They're in front of you, kind of in the woods. The rest of your companions catch up and also help subdue them.
Yeah, I just for flavor what happens is maybe I lance Chad, but I get him in the like shoulder so it doesn't kill him. It just gets him pretty bad. And I kick Erebus with my horse, and then I get off and beat them up.
Gotcha.
I don't kill them.
So they're beaten up, they're lanced a bit, and with that, they're going to call out, "We yield! We yield!"
I took 78 damage in the process.
Oh, did that damage you?
No, I'm saying that's how they fought back, so I took a lot of damage.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Willing damage.
All right. And you can see them kind of catching their breath.
You're lucky I think you're worth more alive. And I value you as future comrades, potentially. Just what got you up to hanging out with those bandits?
We work for them. Look, Zara and Nero. Zara, your friend, the drow, and Nero, the person that you sprung from jail, the merfolk. They're going to hunt you down and destroy you. Do you understand how much danger you are in? The vampire lords, and this is Erebus speaking, by the way. Erebus is speaking. The vampire lords are going to make an example out of you. Your only chance is to let us go. We will convince the vampire lords to spare your lives and also tell you a once-in-a-lifetime secret.
I'm getting irritated at these guys.
You can convince them, and I think my companions have caught up at this point.
Yeah, your companions are there with you guys. I'm trying to save your life, Erebus says.
Well, stop that. It's my life to lose. Thank you very much. I made my choice in the camp. And frankly, given the fact that you were just hired, I don't think you have the clout, quote unquote, to stop the vampire lords if they decided to kill us.
Well, we have a secret. We have leverage. And they need us to take over this country. And that secret is something that you can know too, if you let us go.
I'll tell you what, why don't you come with us? We're about to go north. Maybe we don't hand you over to Griffith if you'll be trustworthy and stalwart companions in our quest to do whatever secret mission we're about to do.
No way. I'm not signing up for another mission when the vampire lords could easily... do you understand if we run with you, we get hunted too, and we die. I'm not going to have that happen. It's too much on the line here. But we will... And he kind of turns... She turns to Chad, and Chad turns to her. They nod. We will tell you the secret after we make our escape. I guarantee you it is worth it. We know the one person that controls the guilds. We have something they desperately want. Not on us, but we have it. We have something they will do anything to get. We can share it if you let us go. And meet us in Daggerford in 100 days.
Well, how do we think that you'll live up to that?
Well, I lived up to my deal when I escorted the refugees, the people of the city of Twyrif, away from the xenomorphs. I lived up to my end of the deal. When the guilds, the court of justice, was looking to pardon us, I revealed, and she's a bit hesitant to reveal this. I ratted out a lot of people in the Thieves Guild to get that pardon. I burned a lot of bridges. I unloaded all of my treasure. So I followed through with my deals. And just like how I'm following through with my deal with the vampire lords, I'll follow through with my deal with you guys.
Well,
Thinking
for that, how true is
thinking
this?
back to when they first climbed down from the wall, was there anyone else there other than me who I think saw us and them?
No one else. It's just you guys.
All right.
Think about it.
Well,
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Erebus says. If you fail to take this opportunity, you will regret it. We'll be in jail. You won't know the secret. You won't know who controls the actually one person that controls the guilds. And if you do this, you'll learn the secret. You'll learn what they really want. Imagine this, having total control of the guilds.
I'm gonna say Hannibal and then watch their reaction to see if there's any tell on their face.
You can see them kind of stone-faced. I know that trick.
Wait.
I know that trick,
Before
Marisha.
we-
It's not going to work.
Before we do something with them, I want to try something with them. I'd like to try casting a zone of truth around them.
Yeah, sure. They
hold off on that.
willingly comply, and then they repeat
Well-
everything they've said to confirm it's the truth.
Well, before I say that, I'm going to ask the question, will you tell us the secret?
Yeah, we will, or I will.
No, right now. Right now.
Absolutely not.
And then once she says that, I'd like to try casting command and use the word confess.
Oh man, he's got the combo.
Okay.
Damn.
Confess.
Confess, command.
Okay, go ahead.
I casted it, command.
Oh yeah, no, target him and then press command.
Well, I can't target him. I don't
Lucian,
see him.
why am
I don't see
that's a
him.
war
We're
crime.
not on the
not-
map, no.
Oh,
We're
you're
not
not
on
on
the
the
map.
map? Oh shoot, you guys
We're in the
haven't
rebel
loaded.
camp.
Okay, give me a sec here.
We're in the rebel camp.
Oh,
Oh,
I can see the Misty Forest.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull everyone to the Misty Forest. Okay.
I'm on the
What's your
landing
what's
page
your
now.
is wisdom save?
Yeah, 14. Wisdom 14.
Okay.
I am currently on the landing page.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, I pulled everyone to the landing page, and I'm pulling everyone to the Misty Forest.
That one.
All right,
That
so
one.
that one. She says it's Celeborn, and
Write that
after
down.
she says that, she like covers her mouth with her hand. She's like, "You bastard, you
Teleport.
you did." I'm not talking anything now. I can confess my best cooking recipes now. You can try it again, but I'm not falling for that trick. You get a bonus 300 EXP for being a superb interrogator.
Cool.
That felt rather rude, and you didn't consent to that. I feel like that was a war crime. Perhaps I will let you go now, just because you did promise that was the deal. We let you go if you tell us, and now you've told us, so maybe we should let you go.
Technically, we didn't
Hold
agree.
on. Wait a second. Nicholas is gonna slap Lucian on the back. Oh man, that was so underhanded. I love that. Oh man, he's going to walk towards Erebus and Chad. And he's gonna say, I'll be frank here, Erebus, Chad. Chad, I don't like you. You. It doesn't seem that you have the guile necessary to run things at the top of a thieves guild organization. Erebus, we can do business. Here's the thing, though. Deals can't be made in between people in unequal situations. You right now are bargaining for your lives. We are bargaining for the chance maybe the vampire lords won't come after us if we let you go. But again, given that we're going to be standing firmly in opposition to them, regardless of what we do with you, that's highly unlikely. So here's what I think. You don't have to join with us, but cut yourself off from this entire scenario. This is a bad rap for you all around. Because you see, let me explain it in a way I think you'll understand. This is a risk. You are risking your life fighting an established power on the hope that maybe the vampire lords who will be the ones in the unequal situation, having all the power if they take over the country, will reward you at the end of the line, which they are under no obligation to do. You understand what I'm saying? So you're banking your lives and futures on a whole lot of maybes. That isn't a safe bet. And it also isn't safe being in a situation where you have to oppose us.
The vampire lords. The vampire lords are not just one random vampire. Each vampire is the strength of 100 men. They've made an alliance with very strong people that are already in this country doing whatever they want to do. And I've seen their power. I'm not going to tell you what their power is. If you command me again, I'm just going to tell you my best cooking recipes. But I'm telling you, you're going to die if you don't join with them. I'm trying to save your life here. We wouldn't last 5 minutes against them. You wouldn't last 10 minutes.
Eris, sure. I believe you. And furthermore, I believe that you really don't want to come with us. And after thinking about it, I don't intend to force you to. I know that the road we seek is likely dangerous, and you've already almost died fighting beside us once. And I understand that you don't want to do it again, and so I will not ask you to. Now, as it stands, companions, we have two options. We could let them go, or we could turn them into Griffith. If we turn them into Griffith, we might make a few hundred gold, and perhaps win more of his respect. However, he doesn't know that we've captured them, and so letting them go will not be a black mark upon our records. If we let them go, that's two friends we have in the wild, and I believe these two are quite canny. Yes, Chad is a murderer, but so am I. I think there's nothing wrong with having some friends on the other side. We let them go today, perhaps they'll return the favor someday in the future.
I see your point. Remington. Does anyone else have anything to add?
I mean, they might. I don't see any other. What else can we gain from keeping them alive?
You can gain your lives.
Be careful.
Our lives aren't good currency. There's too many people already trying to kill us. Let's stop. Besides, what's it called? That necromancer. What was her name? This is the exact same deal she offered to us, and she was in a lot better of a position than you are now. Let's keep it frank. The vampire lords, powerful, exceptionally so. They are regardless of how wise or foolish that sentiment is, I'm not afraid of them. It's because you see, what's it called? They're trying to take over the country. I'm not. Me and the country are rather separate. They're not going to be fighting me. And given the fact that the noble houses that control this country have existed for possibly thousands of years, and have weathered all the threats that have come to them. Frankly, given that they have the home team advantage, I put my money on them, especially after what I found in this dungeon the other day. But that's not that has that's something else. I propose this. This we'll take your little deal to. Does it have to be in 100 days that we meet you in Daggerford? Could we push that back a bit?
You want me to tell you later? Like 200 days? If we die, we're not going to tell you the secret.
Try not to die then.
Well, you can
No,
count on
why not
that.
have them? Why must they not tell us at once? If we're going to let them go, that's quite a good bargain for
Because
them.
if
They
I
should
tell
us
you
everything
now,
they
there's
know.
nothing to stop you, Erebus says, from just going to Griffith and then hunting us down. We want to get away clean. 100 days is enough time for us to get away clean.
All right.
How about this?
When she says that, I'm gonna turn around, and I haven't tied any of them up, but I'm going to stand between them, facing my companions, and put my hands on my hips and say, "You have my word, Chad and Erebus. I will absolutely ensure that you are let go if you tell us. And I've already told you why, because I believe it's better to have friends on the enemy team than enemies. And if we let you go, that's a big favor we're doing for you. And I like having people who owe me favors out and about."
Your mission, this is not that kind of secret that we can trust to anyone promising anything.
Hold on, Remishton. I understand your desire to have a situation of mutual trust here, but that doesn't tend to happen in an active combat situation. How about this? You're telling us that you can't tell us anything because we have no incentive to let you go if we tell you. The inversely, that's also true. If we let you go, what reason have you to meet us where we are? So I propose some collateral. We'll let you go. I'll point to the what's it called? I'll point to the space on her neck that's being covered by her cloak. Give us the amulet as collateral. We meet you in Daggerford. We give it back. We exchange the secrets. How about that? I don't imagine that you would like to lose it to us, band of adventurers. We could certainly use it.
Amulet Erebus sighs a bit, and she takes out an amulet of health.
Whoa.
And she says, "So, you return this amulet when I give you the secret in 100 days at Daggerford."
Correct.
And you guys will
My
actually
word
be
on it.
there. Like, this is a very valuable amulet.
But 100
imagine it
days is
is.
a long time. How do you know you'll still be alive? And how do you know we'll still be alive?
In 100 days, the vampire lords will execute the grand plan, or whatever. That's what they call it.
And by that point, it will be too late for us to do anything about
No,
it. I'm afraid that
well-
we're trying to stop this grand plan.
Well, stop it.
So what
That's
value
what I'm telling
will
you.
your
There's
information
no
have then?
stopping it. By the time 100 days... All right, well, we can do earlier. We'll tell you on the cusp. We estimate the plan will start in roughly... Oh gosh, what was the timeline that it gave us? It was It was like 22 days, 21 days from now, and then they'll do something. So maybe like
Assassinate the prince.
Okay,
everybody,
we
like
have in
everybody's
the
in chat
event
kind of goes
planning.
silent for a minute.
22 days from now,
I
27 days.
It's like 40, 30 days. I can tell you in 30, 40 days. Actually, I'll just send a message over there. But you didn't hear it from me, okay? I'll make my escape,
Understood.
and we'll say 14 days from now, 2 weeks, I'll send a message. But if I send a message, there's nothing for you to give back the amulet. Like, there's no incentive. We don't want to even meet you there. We don't want to even be there. We just want to drop off the letter and give it to you. The secret.
So then, listen to me. Here's my idea. You come. I know it's dangerous, but you come with us to the north. We're going far north, perhaps out of the country, just about.
There's nothing.
You'll be far away from anyone who would threaten you.
We can't
We'll
do
let you
that.
go. How about you leave there, telling us when you leave? You'll be safely far away, and in a position to tell us as you depart, keeping your amulet.
Well, we do need to make. I suppose I could travel. We could travel with you. Yes, we could travel with you, and then after we've made our escape, then we'll tell you.
But how will you tell us after you've? Well, I guess if making your escape means traveling with us far to the north out
Yeah,
of the
we'll
country,
travel
then yes.
with you far to the north, but we're not going to leave the country. They need us to do stuff in the country, otherwise they'll kill us. They'll get rid of us. So we'll travel with you
desertion
north.
and whatnot.
We'll travel with you north, but we're not going to leave the country. When you guys leave the country, we'll tell you the secret. And then you can keep
Understood.
the amulet of health until then.
That is
All
well.
right.
All right. So in that
Now
case,
we do
Then
need
the
to.
amulet.
yeah, you can. Well, all right. Sure. Yeah. She takes out the amulet, hands it over to Vermishton, because she sees that devious look in Nicholas's eyes. And yeah, Vermishton, there you go. Return this when we
I
tell you
put
the
the
secret.
amulet
Yep. And
around my
yeah,
neck.
you have the amulet in your inventory now.
Righteous.
Where is it? Huh? Is it in there? I dragged it over. Just dragging it
Amulet of
over.
My
health.
inventory is quite
There it
filled
is.
with
There it is. I
things.
have it now.
Yes, it's there.
Nice. And it's attunement required.
And
Nice. And then she gets rid of her amulet. And okay. So, okay. We've given you the amulet. We'll tell you the secret after after you're about to go out of country, far to the north. You return the amulet then.
yes.
How do you?
Alrighty.
What do we do?
Let's keep going north.
Now,
I'd run in the direction that we just came from, actually.
I thought we were
I-
traveling together, and then we separate.
yes.
Oh yes, not now. We can't abandon. We can't abandon that. That would be incredibly suspicious.
Right. Okay. So what do you want us to do, though? I mean, we can't go back with you to. I don't know who you're. Actually, it sounds like you're working for the Band of the Falcon. They're
Currently.
very
Yes.
annoying. We can't go back with you to
How about
camp.
this? No, you don't need to. What's it called? Our patrol pattern is rather ragged due to the fog, so I can't imagine it would two high level criminals like yourselves would have much trouble slipping through the cracks. What's it called? I no doubt. Are you aware of the location of the mine that I acquired?
Yes.
Didn't doubt it. Meet us there before we set out.
Okay.
That is nobody should be looking for you there. At least I don't have anyone on either side of the this conflict there. That's purely business, not personal.
Okay. And remember, do not tell anyone I said the name Kellenborn. I already gave you half the secret. Don't tell anyone that because nobody knows.
You
Hey,
have my word.
my
I'll
lips
see.
are sealed. That secret is uh much more use to us if nobody knows that we know. I'd much rather not get assassinated by the guild by knowing because we knew something we shouldn't.
And
Okay.
while you're by Cypher's mine, try not to rob the place.
Yep. Yeah. No, we won't rob any place. We will not rob the place. We'll wait for you. We'll wait for you a few days.
All right.
All right. In that
Now,
case, yeah. Erebus and Chad are walking away. Do you guys do anything?
no,
Okay.
let him
Everybody
walk.
gets 900 EXP.
Oh, I leveled up.
Nice.
Level 9, finally.
Uh, and that's gonna be it. We're gonna call the session here. Head back to the landing page.
All right.
Sorry if the Misty Forest didn't load up. I don't know why it's not loading up for two of you guys. But it was just we didn't really do anything on the map. It was just a forest that was misty, had a lot of trees, some grass, looked a bit dark and foreboding.
Yeah.
Just some ambiance. That's gonna be it. We're gonna leave it there. When you guys arrive back, let's say you guys arrive back into camp after patrolling. Oh, actually, we can do this part. So you arrive back into camp after patrolling, and what do you say? What do you do? The guards are there, and
Before we go over, I'm gonna say to my more charismatic companions, Tailmaker, are you good at not accidentally saying the wrong thing? Because I'm not.
Well,
Neither am I.
that depends on what this wrong thing is in question.
Mentioning that we happened to capture two fleeing bandits. Just say we didn't find anybody.
I'd say I'm pretty good at it.
Very well. Or perhaps we should not mention anything at all, and we should just return to camp, say goodbye, tell a few soldiers we're leaving, and then depart.
We
Oh,
could say
well,
we went out searching and just couldn't find anything, that the fog was too thick.
Yes,
that's
my
one
thoughts
thing.
exactly. I'm just afraid that if we tell Griffith, well, I've heard a lot of things about him, including that he's incredibly smart and good at analyzing things.
I
We'll
heard
be
this.
fine.
I heard this. Griffith walks up to the party. I heard an intense fog spread out from the campsite. All the patrols have been hearing whispers of footsteps and people escaping. Did you see anything else on patrol?
None of the sort. Nothing. It was the fog was too thick.
The fog was too much for you then.
We were
That it
looking
was.
for
You were fooled just like the
footprints or
rookies.
anything, we couldn't find anything.
Um,
It's unfortunate.
I'm afraid you've been quite a disappointment today, I say, looking down.
All right. Well, hey, you did your best. Um, yeah, a lot of other rookies were fooled too. You can meet us in meet us in Daggerford in how what was it, 10 days is what I said. How much did I say? 10 days, yes. Meet us in Daggerford in 10 days. We'll pay you then. We're gonna mop up the rest of the bandits. Looks like they left all the stuff, so we're gonna need to return them to the rightful owners. We'll get paid in Daggerford. Then you're free to. Are you gonna stay with the company, or are you gonna depart? Is it more like freelance work?
I believe it would be.
departing.
Departing. Okay. I'll strike your names from the ledger, so you're no longer members. And you can rejoin at a later time. So.
Understood.
Okay.
All right. Now that we are stricken from the ledger, Griffith, hold on just a second. I have a little business proposition for you. Well, more like I'd like to hire your company for something. shouldn't be too difficult. And since you're already in the area and all that, um, would it what's it called? How much would it take for your company to just to go on a bit of a monster extermination in this area?
Let's be clear. What monster? How long? Where?
Um, it's not one month. It's more like an open contract. Uh, Basically, we need to clear a place for a road to be built. You see, you don't have to kill any of the monsters, all the monsters. You just don't need to hunt them down. Simply lower the threat level of the area. Drive off any too wild beasts and whatnot.
Yeah. If what area?
This area actually, the area between Red Larch and what's it called? And I'll whip out the map that I bought and point to the unmarked area where my mine is currently located.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
this area we can do that for. Hmm, I need to pay everybody.
Whoa, not everybody now. I don't think you'll need that many. Well, if you think you'll need that many.
Well, we're not talking about just like destroying a random, goblins in a cave. We're talking about destroying all monsters in the area, right?
I mean, if you think that's what'll be necessary, I'll defer to your judgment in that area.
The customer is always right. So tell me, as the customer, what kind of extermination level do you want? Just like us killing a few random goblins, guys, that's easy. Or if you want us to go meticulously and destroy all the monsters, make it safe for people, that's going to cost extra.
Yeah, I'd imagine that. Uh, why don't you give me an estimate on what those two different operations would cost me?
Well, the first one with we
Uh,
just kind of go through the area. That's basically pretty easy, like 200 gold pieces, very simple. We just kind of go through the area a couple times, and there's still going to be monsters around, but we're going to kill a few as we're passing through. The more meticulous one is going to be in the order of 4,000 gold pieces.
4,000.
Yeah, it's expensive to exterminate all the monsters in an area. Think about it. Think about our group. There's at least 40 members. And if they're all doing work, if they're all killing bugbears, killing hobgoblins, destroying all manner, and there might be the xenomorphs in the area too, they're going to have to be paid. 40 members minimum, plus 100 gold pieces each, that's 4,000. That's a bargain.
That makes sense. That makes sense. You wouldn't happen to have some kind of payment plan for that kind of situation?
Yeah,
Imagine
half
I
now,
have
half on delivery.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's an agreeable proposition. Uh, all right. I currently have on me 1,700 and I believe 32. Let's see here. Yep, I have 1,732 gold on me. I'll hand him that in a pouch,
So wait, how much do you have?
and I'll write him 200. That's 200. 268 gold pieces are missing, and I'll write him a what's it called, a banknote for him to collect the 268
We don't
that
we
are
don't accept
that's missing from the.
banknotes. So what do you do? Go ahead and type it out. How much are you given?
Okay, so if that's the case,
Now we can go to the bank
so
with you and you can withdraw it and then hand it to us. But we've been fooled by blank checks before. It's not. We don't want to do that again. People get angry and then mercenaries come to the customer and they get rid of the customer. This is not doing you a favor here. So.
all right. You know what? I understand. Let me 1,732 gold pieces.
Okay, 1,732.
We're missing 268. 268.
Here,
Yeah.
tell you what. If you and all your companions agree not to be paid, we'll call it 2,000 even, and then you can just pay your companions whatever amount from your bank account.
Uh,
Here by
I'll look
me.
at my companions.
Now, if your credit is good,
Cypher, I
then
can't
you
believe
shouldn't
you're
have any problem with it.
I can't believe you're actually hiring the Band of the Falcon, the most prestigious mercenary company I've heard of recently.
I mean, I can't I can't expect us to do all the work ourselves, can I? Uh,
We will
Delegating
need a
costs
bit
money,
more.
but it is what it is. I'll reimburse you all if you don't if you'll agree not to be paid to collect payments from the band of the Falcon.
Uh, you know what? The hell with it. Why not?
Okay. Anyone object?
It's not.
I want to take him on right now. I want to take him on again.
Okay. So here's
It's
the
pretty funny.
contract: 4,000 gold pieces, half now, half on delivery. You paid 1,732 gold pieces plus all the pay from attacking the bandits, and then the party gets the band of the Falcon clears out this area. The route from I think it's Red Larch to Cypher's Mine of all the monsters. Cleared of all monsters, not just of monsters. Um, and
Excellent.
so it'll take us a few weeks. But we'll confirm it after we're done. We'll meet you at Cypher's Mine. Just have the money there. Have someone willing to pay us, and we'll be out of your hair.
Understand?
And
Great.
and out of character as a narrator, you can just tell them to transfer the money. That's fine. Oh wait, actually no, there's monsters in the area, so you can't transfer it yet. Um, or if you'd like, we can meet you in Red Larch or City of Glass, wherever you have your bank, and we can just take it there.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so you just
Yeah,
need to.
that makes sense. Pleasure doing business with you, and I'll shake with give Griffith a good handshake.
Okay. Now, for obvious reasons, the bank is not going to issue 2,000 gold pieces on just the word of some random bank teller saying that, hey, Nicholas wants to give 2,000 gold pieces to someone. Because if it was that easy, then I guarantee you your bank account would be empty faster than you can say, pi. Because if it's that easy to empty your bank account, your bank account's gonna get stolen from. So there's got to be some kind of security measure to protect your bank account. So something that allows you to to allow you to pay people like Griffith, but also enough security so that a random thief can't come in and pretend to be Nicholas and then take all the money from your bank account. So just think about
Yeah,
how you can make the transfer. But besides that, everything should be good. Monsters should be cleared. And yeah, you guys are good to depart when you are ready.
understood.
And that's going to be the
All
end of the
right.
game session here. Does anyone have any last minute things?
I just wanted to check, is the Band of the Falcon coming with us, or are we going ahead of them?
Well, you're going ahead of them because they need to pack up.
Cool.
And then after they pack
Great.
up, given this new contract, they're going to be around this area for a couple weeks.
All right. My intent is just to head back with the group towards the mine and hopefully meet up with Eris and Chad if they're there.
Cool.
Excellent.
As we travel, I
Um,
just want to go and point out that if Chad does anything, I'm more than willing to go and take him out.
Should have done that earlier.
honestly, do as you see fit. I don't like Chad. He's blockheaded. Yeah, that's the word.
He's been an enemy in the past, but please, friend, don't do anything against him until they've departed. If we meet again after this, then he's fair game. But until then, we've just made an agreement with them. I think it would be wise to maintain their alliance.
I'm simply stating that if when we're like getting their aid or trying to go and if we discover that he's been stealing anything, causing problems at the camp, or tries to betray us in any way, he will not be leaving camp.
I see. I guess we'll have
Man
to
after
wait and
my own
see how
heart.
things shake out.
All right. So we'll begin the next session with you guys arriving back at Cypher's mine, and you can kind of go from there. Thank you everybody
Yeah.
Alrighty.
for.
Thanks for running the game, Austin.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next one.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, I
Bye.
had
Have a
fun.
good one.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Later.